Now, if you're someone who wakes up with muscle and joint stiffness, particularly in the lower back or even in the hips, then you're going to want to watch into the end of this video. Today, we're going to go over a simple morning routine that you can use to help improve your daily flexibility. Let's get started. Welcome back, guys. It's Dr. Mike, physical therapist. Now, most of you at home probably wake up and you probably will reach your arms to the ceiling, or maybe you're someone who just gets straight up and starts your daily routine, but you are simply missing out on a key time where you can start to really improve your mobility and get rid of any aches and pains that you normally deal with on a daily basis. This simple morning routine that I'm going to show you is an easy way that you can help reset your body and help get you ready to help loosen up any stiffness or tightness that you're dealing with in the lower back or even in the hips. And the best part about it, you don't have to get on the ground. You can simply do this right before you get out of bed. And I'm going to show you right now how you can get into this. So we're going to get started with the first stretch. And we do know from all the sitting and driving that we do, our hips get very, very tight. So the first stretch that we're going to go over is a hip flexor stretch. And what you're going to do is I'm going to be stretching out my right leg, and I'm going to let that right leg kind of drop down towards the ground. Now, as I'm in this position here, I'm already feeling a nice stretch over the front of the right hip. And to really start to increase the intensity with this stretch, I'm going to take this opposite leg and I'm going to bring it up towards my chest. So I'm taking my right leg into what we call hip extension, really stretching out the front of the right hip. But now I get to stretch out also the back of the left hip. So you're kind of really taking both of those hips to that end range, and they are going to thank you, especially if you're someone who does a lot of driving or a lot of sitting at a desk. In order to do both sides, you're obviously going to have to switch to the other side of the bed or rotate your body. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you this one side. And each of these stretches, you're going to hang out for about 20 to 30 seconds, and you can do a couple reps on each side. It doesn't have to be anything extensive there, okay? The next stretch we're going to move into is going to be a hip opener. So I'm going to simply slide my leg as far as I can go, even at the edge. If I want to add a little bit more passive range of motion, then I'm going to drop this leg down towards the ground and then slide it down. I'm creating this nice hip opening. You're going to feel this on the inside, the hip adductors, and it's going to feel great. And with this one, you can also work about 10 repetitions at a time where you're bringing your knee to your chest, and then at the top, the key is dropping that knee down to the side and then sliding it down. You're kind of working through that hip range of motion to help isolate that hip, and obviously you'll do the other side there. One of my favorites, because I find a lot of tightness on the lateral aspect of the hip, especially back here, is now we'll move on to crossing the leg over. And many of you have probably seen kind of like that figure four stretch, but we're going to step up this exercise a notch. And you have your leg crossed over, and now I'm going to use my opposite hand and I'm going to place it on the outside of the knee there. Now that's going to give me some good leverage to really wind up. And now I'm bringing my right knee towards my left shoulder. So as I do this, I'm trying to now stretch all of the back of the lateral side here of the hip here. This is going to feel amazing. And I like to use the opposite hand to kind of hold me here so I can really wind up the lower back and the hip musculature. We tend to have a lot of tightness, especially in that piriformis area. And here I will hold for 20 to 30 seconds as well. And then I will work on the other side there. And I'm already starting to feel really loose and feel really good. And now we're going to isolate now some of the chest muscles, some of the areas of the chest and the neck that get tight from us kind of looking down at our phones or using computers. And I'm simply going to just take this pillow and I'm going to bring it down towards my lower back. If any of you guys have used foam rollers before, this is the same technique. We're going to open up the chest wall. We're going to really focus on thoracic extension. And now you're going to support the back of your neck and you're gonna pull those elbows and those shoulder blades back and really let your body kind of sink away. And now you're gonna feel everything of the rib cage and the chest really, really opening up. And this is gonna feel amazing. You could take a couple deep breaths here and really start to open up that chest wall. And that is going to feel amazing for you. And then once you're done there, you can really just move that pillow back where it was. And then we can finally move into the last stretch, which is gonna focus on your lower back muscles, okay? So here we're gonna turn our body to the side, just like so. And you're gonna still support your neck because we don't want your neck kind of being twerked to one side. So you have that neck nice and snug underneath your spine there. And you're gonna take both of these legs, and notice my knees are about the level of my hip. And with my feet, I'm just letting them drop down to the side. Now this may not feel like much when you are watching this on video, but now what's happening is this pelvis is kind of, these pelvis or hips are dropping away from me. And now I'm getting a good elongation of what we call the Quadratus lumborum. That's a stubborn type muscle that often gets tight if you're anyone that sits or drives for a long period of time. And now I'm going to just relax here. And if you really want to work on some contract and relax techniques where we're resetting that pelvis, pulling our hips up towards my head. So I'm doing kind of like a hip hike. And then I'm going to relax again all the way, letting those hips drop away. And if you do this correctly, you're going to feel a lot of stretch over the deep lower back muscles there. So you'll work on this for about 20 seconds on each side, focusing on that hip hike to really reset the pelvis and the hips, and then letting it drop down, getting a nice deep stretch through the hips there, okay? That is a simple routine that you can implement on a daily basis. It doesn't have to take you long to really focus on your mobility. Just know each day, if you implement this right before you get out of bed, you're gonna look and feel much better. If you want more information on how to improve your strength longevity with your body, take a look at the other videos I made here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.